The Virtual Boy has always been a mystery to me. Much like the curiously named International House of Pancakes, it never made it to Europe, so I didn't even hear about it until long after it was already dead, like Nessie Amun. I assumed it was much older, released in the days when Nintendo were putting out all sorts. I mean, hell, you wouldn't put this out a year after the PlayStation, right? It's a well-known tale now. Rushed to market, released unfinished, widespread reports of headaches and eye strain brought about by its one selling point, the stereoscopic 3D effect, which brought these exclusively red and black worlds to life. To date, the Virtual Boy is the only product to come with a warning that it might cause permanent damage to children's eyes, and the Nintendo seal of quality. I'm still quite attached to my retinas, so to be on the safe side, I will be going through the Virtual Boy's game catalogue on an emulator while using a more traditional means of enjoying 3D. Laser time, boys! First up, 3D Tetris. And when you consider what a hit Tetris was on the Game Boy, it's easy to see why they'd want that lightning to strike again. Unfortunately, the extra dimension didn't cause a sensation, and neither did these glorious dudes who all look absolutely delighted to have landed the Tetris mascot gig. I mean, you would be, wouldn't you? Set for life. These blocks will be on lunchboxes for the next 20 years.
Welcome to Space World. Let's go.
Go? But I just got here. It's Galactic Pinball, folks. It's hard to picture this shifting units when the PS1 had True Pinball, Pro Pinball, The Web, Worms Pinball, Pro Pinball, Time Shock, Patriotic Pinball, Pro Pinball, Big Race USA, Power Rangers, Zeo, Full Tilt Battle Pinball, Pro Pinball, Fantastic Journey, Dragon Beat, Legend of Pinball, Kiss Pinball, Hyper 3D Pinball, and Austin Powers Pinball.
I've lost my mojo!
Why not relax with some virtual fishing? I didn't land a single fish, of course, and the one time I did catch a fish caused the game to immediately reset. I guess these salmon have been getting into Undertale fanfiction. Whoa! It's Mario Clash! A pretty fun little game which features a bonus round that completely relies on depth perception to work, and a talking Mario long before Chris Pratt started laying pipe. Beautiful. Sorry, can you run a quick check on the phrase laying pipe? Because I've got it written down here. I'm not actually sure if that's shagging or taking a shite. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, babe. Nestor's Funky Bowling is definitely the funkier of the two bowling games released for the Virtual Boy, but it simply couldn't compete with Big Strike Bowling, 10 Pin Alley, King of Bowling, Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling, Bowling, King of Bowling 2, the Flintstones Bedrock Bowling, Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling 2, Animaniacs 10 Pin Alley, Waku Waku Bowling, King of Bowling 3, and Hello Kitty Bowling.
I've lost my mojo!
If you're looking for a Halloween themed game, give Jack Bros a go. It's not great, but it probably is the best non-Nintendo game on the Virtual Boy. Oh, and please talk about how it's a spin-off of the Megami Tensei series. Please mention that. No, let's move on. Panic Bomber is an unnecessarily threatening Bomberman-themed puzzle game. I'm hesitant to criticize a video game that promises to slash the player up, especially when it's kind of fun, but boy would it be nice to have a third colour on the screen to make what you're doing a little more clear. Being a Gundam fan means one thing and one thing only: finding out about an old Gundam video game and sitting up in your chair with interest for 5 seconds before finding out it's set on a grid and slumping back into a more comfortable but ultimately spine-shattering position. SD Gundam Dimension War continues this great tradition. It's rubbish, but it is polite enough to ask, "Are you okay?" after every move. Space Invaders Virtual Collection brings the 1978 classic kicking and screaming into the sort of third dimension by tilting it a bit. Maybe you think this just reduces clarity and compromises the gameplay of Space Invaders, in which case I'm gonna have to ask you to stop being so negative. Racking up the points with an Enola multiplier in Waterworld got me thinking about reappraisals. As content miners dig deeper into the past's bargain bin, more and more previously underloved or sidelined creations are being reassessed in a positive, or at least less hostile light. But I don't see the Virtual Boy having a significant redemption arc because it actively harms you. Subjective opinion will get you a long way, but this has a built-in roadblock. As arse-clenchingly awful as Rise of Skywalker was, it didn't damage you. When people begin reassessing that film, they can start by showing how it never injured them once. That's gotta count for something, right? In the future, YouTubers bigger and stronger than me will pick up the Virtual Boy and say, I can fix him, by which they mean fix its reputation. And then they'll have their optic nerves pickled and spiced by bright red laser beams and bow out after 20 minutes. To publicly rehabilitate the Virtual Boy is to encourage others to hurt themselves. It's irresponsible to say it's good. And what do you get if you successfully convince yourself to like it anyway? You get to pay over $2,000 for Virtual Lab, one of the worst things ever sold in a box. Returns accepted? Oh mate, you're going to regret offering that option. The film Waterworld was a joke for over 20 years, but now it's admired for its ambition and unquestionably impressive production. You wouldn't be caught dead saying Waterworld is bad these days, but Waterworld for the Virtual Boy? There's a line, okay? Anyway, golf. Looks nice in the way your prison cell looks nice once you've given up and accepted it, but it features the most stressful way of taking shots I've seen in a golf game. Charge as normal, but then press A when this wildly flailing dot is in the center of the ball, or it goes careening off course. At least the Nintendo logo is always there to remind you exactly who is to blame for this. Innsmouth no Yakata is the opposite of a slow burn horror. You're in a mansion, and there's eldritch abominations after you. No mucking about with tension or setup. That said, it is very unsettling. I say this about everything, but the only way this could be more scary is if it was in stereoscopic 3D. Maybe it's time to risk the real thing. But don't worry, I'm not going in alone. Sean is going to supervise/provide a bucket if I need to be sick. First up, probably the best game on the system, Virtual Boy Wario Land.
Now, I don't know if there was some, do you think they set it in a cave because they're aware of, this is all black,
Yeah.
so this whole game has to be in a cave? So do you reckon you could see yourself on your way to college, throwing this in your backpack, on the bus? What I really like is how you kind of have to clutch the controller close to your chest, and it makes you...
You've made me suddenly very aware of that. There's no other way.
It really looks like you're clutching on for dear life.
It is good, but again, it's just... If it was 1995 and all your friends got PlayStations at Christmas, then you wouldn't be happy about it.
Could you imagine being the one kid in school, arguing for, no, it's better? Give me a go.
The stance that the Virtual Boy forces you to go into as you play, do you feel that's good for extended playtime?
My neck, I think I've been here for about a minute and a half. My neck is in pain. Already. This feels wrong.
The stance that the Virtual Boy forces you into does look like it's straight out of a diagram about bad posture. Tell her Roblox.
Light M.
Tell her Roboxer. I hardly know her. I'm not proud of it, but the thing is happening where you play a fighting game and you just start mashing and you start doing a lot better. Yeah, I'm beating hell out of this guy now that I've just started going, fuck you, fuck you. I have to admit, starting to feel a little bit of the, like, I want to take my head out of it. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Elbows, ribs. Yes! Yes! I've killed him. Oh my, he's killed.
He's killed? He's fully killed?
Yeah, the robot Robloxer. KO. Yes, confetti. Stereoscopic 3D confetti.
So when you're in there, you're a champion.
Yeah, I can't come home again.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. Did you see the real man? Who made that? Is that a first party thing?
I think so. That's the kind of coverage you get on the Infinite Review.
What's that? I don't know. Alright.
Couldn't tell you.
It's Mario Clash time. Do you think they had their brainstorming whiteboard as like, where in real life are things black and red? And can we make games about that? All games have to be set in a dark place.
Unfortunately, already the PlayStation was offering games set during the day or night.
It was a pretty long cutscene.
Well, enjoy it while you can, because once the game begins, you are going to be in one location
Forever.
for 100
Okay.
levels.
Yeah, okay. So is this more or less...
It's clicked. He's realised.
This is what you do?
That's the game. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. I feel great.
Good.
How you feeling? You look like you've had a nice big sleep.
That's never been true. But especially not now. After an hour of play, my pupils were getting a bit itchy, so we took Metal Gear Solid 4's installation screen advice and went outside to look at distant objects. Now, it's still good to have a look into the distance, you know.
Yeah.
Get back to nature after being in that virtual world.
I could see myself dipping in again, honestly.
It's nice to see other colours, because it was definitely... Sean?